Right then, here we go once more in my underground lair. It is Tuesday, it's about 9:30 in the morning. Well, that's just a lie. It's about 10 past 9 in the morning. Apologies for not blogging yesterday, and apologies for the BSB blog on Sunday being so short, but I actually felt myself coming down with something. Again, I'm never normally ill, so this is really, really strange for me, but yeah, I felt a bit rubbish yesterday, so was sent home from work. First time that's happened to me for a while, because of my cough and stuff, not to infect other people. I'm completely lemsed up today though, and that was the R6 that I took to Donington at Silverstone even. That is now done and dusted for a while, because I'm focusing on this, the CBF600 Honda. And today is going to be my first proper day riding this on the blog. I rode it on Saturday a few times, I really enjoyed it. Looking forward to get out on this now. Obviously similar engine, 600cc, slightly retuned, to allow it to provide a bit more torque, a bit more kind of like ease around town, different styling body-wise. It's not a full-on racer. You are much more upright, and I reckon it's time for me to get on and head to work. And after work, I'll take it for a little ride, and I'll speak to you then. Until then, my amigos, ride safe. Right then, welcome to the Kerrang car park once more, where you can see my steed for today, the Honda CBF600. It's had a lot of fun riding down this morning, actually. It's very easy to ride. It revs quite a lot like the Suzuki Bandit had the other day. You know, it revs nice and highly. It's got a lot of power. It's got a lot of finesse, and yet being in a stand-up position is very easy to ride. You might notice the Yamaha park next to it. That is this gentleman here's bike. Say hello, Bill.
Hiya.
Now, Bill is an absolute superstar. Bill is embarking on a massive adventure, aren't you? From whereabouts are you going?
From Croydon to the border of Iraq.
Now, how many miles is that?
6,500 return.
6,500 miles on that Yamaha 850, yeah? The TDM. Now, that is a mission. Why are you going to be doing that, Bill?
Well, I'm trying to raise £50,000 for wounded soldiers.
Now, that is a blooming good cause. And how can people kind of find out, like, how can they sponsor you?
Onto my website,
yep.
Which is www.trans-european-challenge.co.uk.
Awesome.
And you'll find me on a lot of motorcycle club websites.
Of course, and obviously on the Motorcycle Diaries and the Independent MCN, I'm going to be plugging this hugely. Now, to travel 6,000 miles on a bike, I mean, I rode about an hour the other day on that R6, and it was lovely, but my knees were aching and everything else. This is a little bit more upright, but that's a huge trek. What's the longest distance you've done before, Bill?
Yeah, on a motorbike, south of France and back.
Okay.
In a wagon, about 3,000 mile in 3 days. Okay,
and are you looking forward to the challenge?
Oh, can't wait.
It's going to be wicked. It's going to be very different. The roads and stuff are going to be going down, obviously, down to Iraq. I lived in the Middle East for a year, and I don't know if I'll be too keen on riding a motorbike out there.
It's fast enough I can get out of trouble.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. And how long have you had the bike for? Let's just talk a little bit about the bike quickly, obviously. You've had this, for a couple of years now, isn't it?
Yeah, a couple of years.
A bit of your pride and joy?
My only form of transport.
Oh, mate, I think that's the best way to ride bikes sometimes. You have them as your only form of transport. You grow to love them so much more, don't you? Yeah, of course, it's the pain of getting dressed in the wet and the cold and getting out there, but she's a lovely bike, actually, man. What age is she? What year is she?
Yeah, 1995.
And that's a V-twin,
yeah,
850 engine.
Yeah, Mark 1 TDM.
Do you reckon that's going to be bulletproof enough to get you all the way?
Well, if it's not,
yeah,
push it off a cliff.
It's true, yeah, it's a long walk though then, isn't it, Bill?
Yeah. Well, there again, I can only be 3,000 miles from home at any given time, can't I?
That's very true, actually. That's a good point, yeah. So, when do you start the actual adventure? When will you start going?
29th of May, the May bank holiday.
Okay, and how long do you think it's going to take?
I'm hoping to do it in under 21 days.
Okay, awesome. That's going to be a good mission. So, what, 21, 6,000, how many? That's about 300 miles a day, I suppose, isn't it?
300 to 350 a day.
Over different terrain, because it's not all going to just be motorways and stuff like that. And which route are you going?
I'll be leaving from Croydon, down to Calais, into Belgium, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Turkey, then the Asian side of Turkey to the border with Iraq, back through Turkey, Greece, Albania, across into Italy, Switzerland, France, and then back home. So
you're doing more countries probably than most people do in their lives in 6 days. That's awesome. And I mean, what kind of inspired you to do this? Obviously, it's a very, very, very good cause for the Army Benevolent Fund and Armed Forces Benevolent Fund. I myself used to be in the RAF many, many years ago, so I think it's a brilliant, brilliant idea of doing. But yeah, where did the idea come from?
Well, ex-service myself, and last year I was watching a programme on TV, and it showed that there was, on any given night, there was over 1,000 ex-service personnel homeless, sleeping rough, in London alone.
Yeah.
And I thought, this just isn't right.
No, totally.
You know, I can't change politicians, but I can do something myself.
I think it's such an inspiring thing to do, and so many people, you know, probably in a position where they see things like this and they don't have the energy or the time to go out and do something, and it's great to see that you actually are doing something. Do you know what I mean? And it's not something small. This is taking up a big part of your life, isn't it? The preparation starts now, I suppose. And
yeah. There's a lot of planning there. We've planned a lot up to now, but there's still a lot of planning going on. But look what they're giving for us.
Yeah, that's very true, man. I suppose that's you can't put a value on that, can you? At the end of the day. So you're heading out, as you say, next year. Going to be doing 6,000 miles. What's your biggest worry? Your biggest concern?
Falling off in front of everyone.
Yeah, that would, especially in the first part. You want to get that. You want to get the first 100 metres down to a pattern. You're right there. Once everyone's kind of got away.
Car park, and I'll be fine.
Oh, I think it's going to be brilliant. Bill, I've got to say, honestly, you're an absolute inspiration. Just once more, can you give us a website people can go to?
It's www.trans-european-challenge.
Okay, cool.
.co.uk.
And you can sponsor yourself on there, find out all about it, and if people want to.
There's a subscription page, so you can get a newsletter. We're going to update, let everyone know what I'm doing from now until the ride, and then on the ride it'll be updated on a daily basis. So
that's absolutely brilliant.
Everyone can see where I am, what I'm doing. We are making a DVD of it. So,
oh, awesome, cool.
So if anyone wants to purchase one of them, once it's done, it's
again via the website. Oh, brilliant! Listen, Phil, you've inspired me because I think it's a brilliant thing to be doing, and also lovely guy. Do you know what I mean? So good luck with it all. That's for me to say. And thank you so much for coming all the way up from London just for this chat today. That's brilliant.
Not a problem.
And if you want to, please do sponsor him. He's a top guy and he's doing something for a very worthy cause. And it's not going to be easy. 6,000 miles, mate. It's going to be hard work, but I think that'll be worth it in the end. And that's the bike you'll be doing it on. Hello and welcome then to the end of my motorcycle diaries for today, Tuesday the 29th of September. In fact, it might not be the end because I might head back out on that beast. Just went for a nice little ride in it, didn't have the onboard camera on, but after meeting Bill, what an inspiration. And with that guy, you know, riding 6,000 miles and back to Iraq, I feel slightly wrong about not going out and having a bit of a blast on it. Have done, and I'll tell you what's really starting to come through on this bike is having ridden the Bandit, having ridden the XJ6, having ridden all the kind of like 600 bikes around on the market at the moment pretty much. You start to get a feel for the character because they're all really, really good bikes. I just like that, by the way, the lovely layout on the dials and stuff, kind of analogue, but all makes sense. Yeah, you do really start to get a feel for the character of the bikes. They're all brilliant bikes, they really are. You know, the Bandit, the Diversion, the Phaser, they all really, really work well. This though, I'm liking a lot. Because they all have their slight different tweaks, and I didn't think this one would be as almost sporty and as wanting to go as it does. It's got this lovely little burble that kicks in on the exhaust after about 5,000 revs, which you don't have when you're just cruising around town, and suddenly it's like, and it wants to go. It sounds a bit more like a racer. It's taut. It's so easy to ride. You can understand why, if you just pass your test, this would be the perfect bike for you. You know, like all these 600 kind of almost semi-fared, stroke semi-naked bikes, because they're just that much more forgiving. As much as I love the R6, you know, there's a lot of power, it's very taut, and it is very responsive. And obviously when you're learning and you're just starting off, that's not so much a good thing, because you want it to be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more forgiving, and this is exactly what this does. You know, you're not going to tear your head off if you snap the throttle back, but it's still got enough power, speed, good brakes and everything else to make it exciting and easy to ride quick, but without killing yourself. So far, I'm genuinely really, really liking this. Now, I'm either going to head out again on it tonight with the onboard camera on, or I might have a bit of a rest up, because tomorrow I'm doing motocross for the first time ever. Come on! And I think it's going to be wicked. I'll be doing that with Express Insurance, my lovely sponsors, so I'll be filming the whole day there. That should be brilliant. So I'll either come back and film some more on this tonight, or I'll save it for tomorrow, and I think I'm going to be giving it back on Thursday. But I must admit, making a real impression on me, the Honda CBF600. And if you're sitting there thinking, but Luke, you love all the bikes you ride. To be honest with you, I'm starting to see now that all these bikes, they're made for different purposes, as I mentioned in the paper diaries that I've written before, but they all serve them really, really well, and as long as you can get to the bottom of it and get the character out of the bike, then you're enjoying it, my friends. Anyway, until next time, ride safe.